What do you do when life offers you no answers whatsoever? What do you do when you find yourself in a situation that offers you no closure whatsoever, and it's a difficult situation that is so painful that you find living such a task, such a chore, and every day comes with its own challenges and emotions about this specific situation? What do you do when you're stuck in the loop of waiting, hoping, or wondering why this is happening? No closure at all. What do you do in such a situation? Well, in this video, I will talk about a few tips that you can try to apply to help you navigate such a situation. And I have been dealing with a very difficult situation for the past couple of months, and it's a situation where you look for answers everywhere and you can't get them. You do your best to try and make sense of the situation, but you actually can't. And this could manifest in different ways for you who are watching. It could be in form of loss, and loss could take any shape or form. It could be loss in terms of death. It could be loss in terms of losing a relationship that you loved so much, that meant the world to you. And this relationship could be romantic, it could be platonic, it could be losing a friend so dear to you, it could be losing a parent or a cousin or a guardian, and not in terms of death, but in terms of the relationship itself. It just dies and you guys are no longer close. You guys don't see eye to eye anymore. Maybe there's a rift between you. It could also take the form of losing a business, something maybe that you've worked so hard for such a long time, and then it goes crumbling down. And it could also be in form of losing a job, but not in terms of being fired or you resigning, in form of maybe retrenchment, a situation where you really can't explain why. Because you see, if it's job wise and you've been fired, there is a reason that you're fired, right? They'll give you reasons. If it's you resigning, you know why you're resigning. It could be because you're in a toxic environment and you just can't handle it and you want to resign. That is explainable. There is closure to that. But in terms of retrenchment, you wonder, what did I do? Why couldn't I be amongst the people who were not retrenched? Am I not good enough? So if it's the relationships that I've mentioned, there is no closure. Maybe you are once very, very close with this person, and then all of a sudden you guys hate each other, or all of a sudden there is just no weight to the relationship like it used to be before. It is a form of loss, and loss doesn't manifest itself in just death. So if you experience loss in any way, death or any other way, then this video will apply to you. And it can be such a difficult situation trying to navigate through, because you have no closure. That is a thing. You don't know what went wrong, and you try and to make it all make sense. You look for all the reasons why things would have gone the way they've gone, but you find no reasons why. And it can be very crippling, and it can be very overwhelming and exhausting. And you can feel like this world doesn't mean anything if I don't have answers to this. The only way that I can move on is if I get the answers, but there are no answers. So something that allowed me to at least navigate this situation without losing myself, and without being too broken to the point of reaching maybe depression, or reaching a very, very low, like the lowest moment you can think of, is eventually accepting that sometimes you will never just get the answers, and that's just the way it is. Sometimes you will never get the answers that you're looking for, because you're not in a position of power to actually get these answers. You have to accept that these answers will never come. And it might sound so negative, and it might sound so, sadistic, but it's really something that allowed me to actually go through the situation, because no matter how much you try and think about it, no matter how much you try and piece one and one together, you will never know why this is happening to you. You will ask, why me, why me, why me? But you will never get an actual answer. You will never understand why you drifted from this person. You will never understand why you are the one to be retrenched. You will never understand why someone close to you had to die. You will never understand. And it's because you simply are not in the position of power. You are not the universe, and you are not the one who's in control in the grand scheme of things. You are not God. And acceptance does not mean defeat, and acceptance does not mean, oh, now you don't care because it's out of your control. Acceptance just allows you to live a day as it comes. Honestly, it just allows you to live a day it comes. It doesn't mean that you don't care, and acceptance doesn't mean that you are being sadistic or nihilistic. When you start saying nothing even matters anyway, so it doesn't mean that. It just allows you to go through that situation. It gives you some form of, it is out of my control and there is nothing I can do about it. If there was anything that I could do about it, I would have done it, but there is nothing I can do about it. And when you accept this, it allows you to move on, and not moving on and then forgetting about your loved one or forgetting about the situation that has been so tough on you. It's moving on in the sense that I am moving on because I have to move on, and I have to accept that this is happening, and I have to accept that this has happened to me. So it is not sadistic. And the other thing that really is allowing me to navigate this is finding meaning even when there is no meaning. Finding meaning could take many forms. It could be in form of a ritual, or a ritual in forms of like a tradition. If it's losing a loved one, a tradition that maybe you had, so you continue it on because it will remind you of them. If it's losing your business, something that you really valued, or losing a job, it is finding a hobby that resembles that, finding a hobby that reminds you of that. So if it's the job, there is a reason you love that job so much, right? So finding the skills that you had, so finding a way to incorporate them in your daily activity, or finding a way to incorporate them into your hobbies. It keeps you in touch with that side of you that you loved so much. Because honestly, if a situation is very, very hard for you to bear, it is because that situation meant so much to you. It is because you feel so much, because you felt love so much, So like keeping that alive could help you navigate the situation. So finding meaning, if it's even something like journaling, writing letters that will never be read, if it's losing the relationship or losing someone to death, just writing letters telling them how you feel, and journaling about your emotions every time that you feel you're overwhelmed and overcome. It could offer you as a form of comfort, knowing that, it's like you're telling your brain, I am talking to this person even though they're not there. And something else is that even if it's maybe newfound activities, maybe you want to challenge yourself now that you are experiencing this hard thing, you could find ways, find new hobbies, and find new challenging stuff to do. And then the last thing is to focus on the certainties that are available to you. Certainties like can ground you. For example, waking up in the morning, you have woken up, the sun is out, you have seen that day. That is a certainty. So certainty in terms of actually being present. So being present will allow you to navigate the situation. Just being in that moment. If in that moment you're in the gym, it's being in that moment, trying very, very hard to concentrate on what you're doing. That is a certainty that you have right there. If it's making dinner, whatever it is you're doing, if it's cooking, being in that present moment and being like, this is what I am doing right now, I can't think about anything else. So trying to be in the present could really, really help you navigate. It's very, very easy for your body to be sat here, and then your mind and your soul are nowhere to be found. They're just roaming, trying to find answers. So trying to ground yourself by being in the moment could really, 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 really be helpful to you. And it's very, very hard. So it's good to always like check in with yourself. Like when you find your mind wandering, like, no, 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 I'm here, I'm cooking. When you find your mind wandering, no, no, I'm here, I'm working out, no, I'm taking a walk. So just trying to snap out of it as much as possible. But then this does not mean to suppress any emotions that might come your way. You could be doing your favorite thing, like walking or being in the gym, or whatever it is that you like to do, and then emotions just come and they overwhelm you, and you just allow them to take over for that moment. Just allow yourself to feel and allow yourself to accept that this is happening to you. And sometimes you might think that you have gotten over the situation. You might be like, I am making improvement and I'm making strides and I am no longer so broken. But then something can trigger you and you could break down. So when you break down, trying not to judge yourself and be like, I thought that this was over, trying not to suppress it because you're like, no, 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 this cannot be happening. I cannot be feeling like this because this is over. I already conquered this. This cannot be happening. So try not to do that. If it comes back to you, it doesn't mean that you've suddenly lost all the progress that you've made. So really, really, really trying to be in the present moment. That has really helped me. And it's sad sometimes because you will feel bad when you're doing something that you like. Maybe you had forgotten and then you remember all of a sudden your situation and you just want to break down. But sometimes snapping out of it has kind of helped me to navigate the situation. But it's still a balance. It's a balance of navigating the situation and allowing yourself to feel. So yeah, uncertainty overall is exhausting, especially when there is no closure whatsoever. And the only thing you can do is just find something that can ground you. As like for me, knowing that I am not in control of my own life. I did not bring myself to this earth. I did not tell anyone to bring me into this earth. So the situations that come my way that I really have no control over, I cannot blame myself for them and I cannot beat myself up for them. I will feel because I am human, but understanding that there is someone else who is greater than me, who is God, and He knows why everything is happening. He knows the things that I am so unsure about and so uncertain about. He knows exactly what is going on. So really, really having knowing this has been a blessing to me, because sometimes when everything is so hard, I'm just like, but I am not in control. I really am not. So I will not let this weigh me down, because I do not have control. If I had the power, if I could read minds, if I could be everywhere all at once, I would know what's going on. I would have the answers that I'm looking for. But I don't have these answers because I am not in control of my own life. And these situations that have come my way that were not something that I wanted to happen, and I have no part in them happening. They just happened because this is life and life is crazy. Then it grounds me. It actually does ground me, and I'm thankful. I am really, really thankful that I know that I am not in control of my life in the grand scheme of things, in You know, of course, yeah, I am in control because this is my life here, but in the grand scheme of things, I am not. I don't know when I'm going to die. I don't know when anything is going to happen. I don't know how the future looks like. I don't know how everything is going to work out. So if I do not know all these things, then it gives me some form of comfort that, yeah, it's not about me, it's about Him. Yeah, God knows, and He's the only one that has answers. And if He wants to give me those answers, He will. If He doesn't want to give me those answers, I just have to accept that I am not in control and I have to leave it to Him. All I can do as a mere human being is try and find ways to cope. So for you, find something that can ground you. For me, it's God, and for you, if it's something else, just try and find something that you really care about that can ground you, that can give you the comfort of knowing that this is not my fault and I don't know why this is happening and I will never have answers maybe, but I will do what I can in this moment. So yeah, um, I really hope that you are able to overcome any situation that you're in that is uncertain. I hope that you can be able to navigate through it with grace, giving yourself grace and allowing yourself to just be. And if you'd like to comment, you could do so in the comment section, and I will be glad to know how you're handling this situation. And yeah, if this video has resonated with you, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.